Hello, my name is Adam Sun, and I'm a high school senior. And I'm going to start with a little story. Back in September, I read something online. It said that the last known individual of the Rab's fringe-limbed tree frog had just died, and that the species was now considered extinct. That hit me, knowing that a truly unique animal, one that I had never even heard of before, had just disappeared from the face of the earth. That also makes me think of other animals that have gone extinct over the recent years, such as the Chinese river dolphin, 3 subspecies of tiger, and many invertebrates that go extinct without anyone even knowing. And conservation is so important in today's world because animals are threatened with extinction by many ways. Animals are being threatened by habitat loss, pollution, overhunting, poaching, invasive species, and also unexpected disasters such as the BP oil spill. And conservation is so important to me because ever since I was young, I've been fascinated with animals. Some of my first experiences with animals came at the Happy Hollow and Oakland Zoo when I was young, back living in California. I remember being fascinated with all the different animal species, and since then I have spent a lot of my spare time researching different animals, trying to learn as much as I possibly can. And now I'm volunteering at the Brevard Zoo to try to give others the same amazement towards animals that I developed as a kid. Conservation is so important to me that next year I'm going to be going to the University of South Florida to major in animal biology in hopes of one day having a career active in conservation. And when I talk about conservation, that can come in many different ways. One way is through education. National Geographic and Planet Earth are good examples of large-scale education efforts which give millions of people the opportunity to learn about wildlife throughout the world. But education can also come on a smaller scale, such as those by the efforts of Coyote Peterson and the late Steve Irwin, which one thing they do is they connect to the audience on a more personal level by showing their own enthusiasm towards the animals they educate people on. So both types have their own benefits to them. Another type of education can come through personal experience. This can be through a zoo or through an animal theme park such as SeaWorld, which gives people the opportunity to see these animals firsthand and make their own connections to them. The second part of conservation comes through action. This can be large-scale action such as animal rehabilitation, animal rescue, or habitat restoration, which all have huge and immediate benefits to animals. Some examples of these are turtle rehabilitation centers, from those such as the Barrier Island Center in Brevard County to SeaWorld's own turtle rehabilitation centers. But action can also be done on a smaller scale by everyday people, such as by recycling, which, if enough people do it over time, it can have a really big impact. And there's proof that conservation efforts actually work all around us. One example is my favorite aquatic animal, the manatee, has just been moved from the endangered species list to the threatened species list by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Association. And there's one more thing I have as proof that conservation efforts do help. And that is right here. Now this is a New Caledonian crested gecko. One thing interesting about these guys is that they were once thought to be extinct. They weren't rediscovered until 1994 by a group of biologists. After that, a population of them was taken into the Americas and to Europe in order to breed them and hopefully save their species. They were really successful with breeding them, and due to their calm temperament and ease of care, they were added into the pet trade. Now these guys are being cared for all over the world, and they are nowhere close to being extinct ever. Now, I think that due to the fact that I'm able to hold an amazing creature that was once thought to be extinct in my hand, that proves that there's hope for all animals all over the world. Thank you.